You live in a gated community.
It's called a gated community.
To me, the gay community has started to become bullies.
Have you ever thought how your life might be different if you were gay?
Racism is alive and well in the gay community.
I just want us to have an open conversation, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, anybody. I want this to be a safe space for everyone.
Lord, I think I done pulled into I was gonna say I done pulled into somebody's gated community.
Gay community as us is a trans community.
Who is having that conversation?
Something's wrong with you.
No, I'm hype. I'm really hype. Hey, Kory.
Hey, Dayman.
So glad to see you.
So,
what's going on?
I wanted to interview you because that's what the fuck I wanted to do. So,
Get on here, so what's up? Get on here now, so what's up? I'm excited to be here.
I'm surprised you're not. Did you DJ tonight? Did you have
I just aired my show, and when I tell you, I don't know why I think I'm this superhero, because why I be trying to do shit live? I saved myself so much pressure. Me and my homegirl recorded the episode last night, and I aired that shit today. Flawless. This one's so up. That episode was, man, I'm out here, man.
You pre-recorded your show?
I pre-recorded it. That shit came out, man, last night. Even when we finished, as soon as we finished, before I even listened to the playback last night, when we stopped, when it ended, I said, girl, we killed that shit. That shit was good.
So it's better for you to pre-record than to do it live, or you just feel like...
It's less pressure. Because when it's live, it's like you really only got like one shot, right? Like you gotta kind of get through it. And being that this is like a product that I've been working on and been manifesting for a few years, to be able to put it on this platform and for these people to like be able to utilize their platform, it's a growing radio platform or app, who knows what they could do. But for me to like execute that shit so top tier, like sometimes you gotta pat yourself on the back. So that shit just got me like high right now.
I feel you. The rush can be exhilarating.
Yeah, so I'm trying to like bring it down, because my therapist is like, when you got that much energy, you gotta calm it down. It's a lot, because I have big energy.
This love is taking all of my energy.
So like, bring it in.
Okay, so wait. So let's go to Columbus before we jump into you being a DJ. What prompted you, or like what made it something of your interest to want to leave Columbus and move to Atlanta?
Because there wasn't nothing going on down there.
Why Atlanta out of all cities though? Because
Atlanta was right up the street. Mm-hmm. And living in Columbus, we always came here. I started coming here probably in college. So being in Columbus, I knew that I did not want to stay in Columbus. I always felt like a city boy trapped in the country. Like I always felt like that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go to Atlanta first. I started working for a national bank. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I can just take my job up there. That way I can move to Atlanta with the job, and then I'll stay there a few years and I'll move somewhere else. Like always in my head, I just knew I was about to bounce around. Mm-hmm. And so there were just more opportunities here. And then at that time, I was trying to get into the industry, kind of be in the industry a little bit. I always kind of was like, wanted to be in the industry, but I was wanting to be like, I wanted to do artist development. So there were a couple of artists that I had met that were kind of like, we were just doing pro bono stuff. But everybody just wanted me to be their stylist.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants to be us.
Oh, they thought you were
like, look, I know how to dress me. You know what I'm saying? Do I think I'm a fashionista? No. So anyway, I kept getting grouped into being a stylist. And then, of course, I moved up here. I had the horrible roommate situation, all kinds of stuff. I had to work. So I just threw all that music stuff. Can I cuss? Anyway, I won't cuss.
This is a safe space to do whatever you feel like you want to do and say.
Now, for the people that did not know, I curse, I cusses, I do all the things. This is not a sanctified mouth. It ain't no way to make that sound good. I was trying to find it, but fuck it. So if you have an issue with cursing, constant chatter, frequent pauses.
Yeah, so I just threw all that music stuff to the wayside. Didn't think no more about anything else, but there were just more opportunities here in Atlanta. I already knew that being in Columbus. Not saying I don't love Columbus. I used to have a good time down there. Like, I grew up there. Everybody knew me from work and all kinds of stuff like that. So I always had a good time, but I just knew that there weren't a lot of boys like me. Mm-hmm. Hashtag. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was also another reason. Was like, let me move to Atlanta. I think I was in a relationship a little before that, and we would come to Atlanta a lot because we could really go on real dates.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, let me just move up here, and then I'll pop somewhere else after that. I was thinking DC, but 12 years later, I'm still here. But I like it here.
So it was partly because you felt like a big fish in a small pond in Columbus, and then part because of the gay culture in Atlanta is what made you want to pick that as your first city to live. Is that right?
Yes, because even kind of with the gay culture in Atlanta, I still felt like I didn't really fit.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you feel like you fit in Atlanta?
Because back then I wasn't as openly gay, I guess. Like I never was not.
Wait.
Yeah.
Pause.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
We interrupt our program.
So you said that you felt like you didn't fit in when you first moved to Atlanta, and I was trying to understand why. Because, well, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I want to go ahead.
Because I feel like a lot of gays usually not to group you with this particular crowd, but I just feel like a lot of gays move to Atlanta because they will feel more accepted, or because they feel like they will fit in. In the type of way that you felt like you didn't. So that's why it's just kind of like interesting to hear why you felt like you didn't when you first moved there.
When I first moved to Atlanta, I didn't fit in.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Do you want me to bring the receipts? Do I need to bring the receipts, baby girl? Because I got receipts. What is she talking about?
So it was partly because you felt like a big fish in a small pond in Columbus, and then part because of the gay culture in Atlanta is what made you want to pick that as your first city to live. Is that right?
Yes, because even kind of with the gay culture in Atlanta, I still felt like I didn't really fit.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you feel like you fit in Atlanta?
No. I'm saying I didn't fit in Columbus, in the community there. And that's why I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
There was more of what I then became to know was a butch queen. There were more of those. See, when I was in Columbus, there were always the more flamboyant gays, and no judgment to that. Like, but that really wasn't my thing. Now, was I DL? No, absolutely not. But you all know when you meet your first boyfriend, right? Mine gave me ground rules on how to navigate the community. He told me certain types of people to avoid because people steal, they do this, don't let people in your house, things like that.
Okay. So wait, let's explore that a little bit, because you said it's no shade to guys who are thin.
Yeah, because it's
no shade to butch queens. Let me ask you why you feel like there's a need to even say that, like preface that before you say what you have to, like before you make your point.
Well, because back home when I was in Columbus, a lot of the openly gay guys, so it was either you were openly gay, which was kind of flamboyant. There were my friends that I personally knew, but it was like a few of us because Columbus is a smaller city. So the only way you would really know a guy was gay was to get on like a dating app. There's a lot of military guys there, so they were very, very masculine. And not that that's like, what I go for, but I really didn't mesh well with more of the guys that I saw to be openly gay. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I don't want to be offensive. That's my big thing now.
No, so it wasn't. So my question wasn't predicated on you being offensive. It was more so.
Yeah. No, I know.
I wonder why people feel like it's necessary to preface a type of personality or a characteristic trait of a gay person before explaining whatever point they're trying to make. You know what I mean? Like it's almost offensive if you shouldn't have to say butch queen.
Butch queen. A gay male that is neither extremely feminine nor extremely masculine and can easily portray both mannerisms. Usually, this term refers to a masculine or semi-masculine gay male who has and displays feminine mannerisms.
Butch queen.
Because it makes butch queens feel like they're not normal. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like outcasting them in a way, because you have to because you feel like you need to say that in order to get your point across. So that was what I was asking. Yeah, I wonder why gays do that.
That's a good question, because I think that we're so conditioned to define the type of gay person that we are when we speak, and then now everything's you don't really know what you can and can't say. you know, and I'm still learning.
As far as being like politically correct, or as far as being like offensive?
Being offensive, not necessarily being politically correct. I mean, I'm going to be, you know, whatever, but yeah, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to make it seem like I'm shaming anybody I'm not judging anyone. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think we understand that, but I think when other people tend to use certain diction, kind of like what you just said, they also might have the same intent as you. Like, I'm not offending anybody. I'm just
specifying and clarifying and
basically saying what it is. But that also has like a negative connotation to it, because when you feel like you need to kind of put a title on someone based on their character, it's almost like there's something wrong with them.
Exactly.
Or sometimes such terms are used in a way that defines the type of gay to send a message that says that they are less than, and I'm not interested in them in a romantic or sexual way, or even a friendly way. For example, like if someone says something to the effect of,
I was at the Abbey this weekend and some random guy approached me and asked me for my number. He's cute, but he's a butch queen, so I politely declined.
Simply put, he wasn't masculine enough for me. Again, gays seeking gays that appear to be straight. I've said it a million times before, and I'll say it again. Gays who limit their experience to other gays who can pass for a heterosexual is a symptom of internalized homophobia. To which I would ask, are you only interested in masculinity because you are what you attract? Or are you traumatized and think that the only way for you to experience those who happen to share your sexual orientation is if said person fits into the stencil of a straight person, because straight people are accepted by society no matter what? I mean, who cares if a straight man walks into a church and unloads his semi-automatic infrared laser beam shot on a sea of innocent people, right? As long as he wasn't gay.
Carry on.
Gays can just be gay, and they're all kind of gay. Like, they're all types of gays.
No, that's actually a really valid question, because it makes me think about, why did I do that? You know, and then it just goes back to conditioning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you moved to Atlanta, and your boyfriend at the time, he cautioned you or warned you about...
The reason why I moved from Atlanta was because when I initially came out of the closet when I was home in Columbus, my boyfriend kind of gave me some precautionary measures when it came to dealing with certain types of people.
In Columbus?
So, yes.
Okay.
And just in general, like in the community, period. Stay away from scammers, stay away from stealers, don't let random people in your house, things like that. And so I think with him telling me that, it kind of made me just pull away from really anybody that wasn't like me.
Okay.
You know, so like a lot of my friends from home, we all have, you know, the same look, the same demeanor.
So you felt like you needed, in order to feel safe, you felt like you needed to be able to identify with the person that, or maybe kind of see a certain type of reflection of yourself in the person that you were dealing with in order to feel safe.
Yeah. In order for me to feel comfortable, because I wasn't fully comfortable with what I was experiencing.
And what was that?
You know, this is as far as my sexuality.
Oh, okay.
You know, this is something I want to pursue. This is something I'm comfortable with. This is something I want to share with certain people at certain times. And so for me, it was like, well, I don't want to deal with somebody who could potentially let everybody know what's going on. Now, of course, as I got older and began to become an independent adult, that whole mindset changed. And then it just turned into, I'm too big for Columbus. Let me hop up to Atlanta, find a better job, move around, get in this music thing, meet some friends. I had already made friends up here. I think I had already met you at the time. It's actually more fun up here too. You know what I'm saying? We're coming up here. And then it was a point where I was coming up here like every weekend. I mean, you remember Blvd?
Yeah, I remember.
You know what I'm saying? And what was it? Cream and all that stuff. So we was here. We would come up. I mean, it was nice. We would drive up, go to the club, probably pregame before that, drove all the way back to Columbus. Like, so we was here all the time. So I was like, man, I might as well just move up here. So It was more so just, it made the most sense as far as me progressing into who I wanted to become.
Become.
So what age were you when you felt like, you know, you weren't that comfortable with yourself as a person before you kind of grew into yourself?
Like prior, like early ages?
Like when your ex-boyfriend or your boyfriend at the time was kind of warning you about different people and different...
Yeah, so that was like senior year.
Okay, so high school.
Yeah, so 17. And that was kind of like my first real, what I thought was an experience of a relationship. And so that was like really, really early on. But I still didn't know a lot of gay people then. I didn't have gay friends in high school. Up until that point, he wasn't even in high school. He was probably like 20, 21, so like 3 years older than me or whatever. And that was just like the kind of gatekeeper. He actually took me to he took me to tracks on the night I graduated.
The original track?
Legendary.
The original tracks. When I guess it was in midpoint, like I had no clue where I was at.
Yeah, it was it was like off of Lucky Street.
I think so. Yeah. So like my graduation, the night I graduated, I came to Atlanta and hung out up here. And thinking back on it, that was like really the worst experience as far as accommodations.
You just mentioned that when you were in high school, you really didn't feel comfortable about people knowing who you were, like your sexuality, for the reasons that you had. Do you think that since heterosexuality is so normalized, like obviously straight people, they don't go through the same thing that you went through when you were in high school, or any other gay person might go through when it comes to, you know, coming into themselves and their sexuality when they're in school. So what do you think about the state of Florida removing that whole narrative from, like, you can't even say that you're gay in school if you're a teacher?
Florida's legislature is one step closer to passing a controversial bill that would restrict any talk of sexual orientation and gender identity in classrooms. Critics call it the Don't Say Gay bill. They say it would hurt LGBTQ students and families.
Across Florida, protests against the so-called Don't Say Gay bill, but Governor Ron DeSantis has pledged to sign it. Officially, the Parental Rights in Education bill, it prohibits classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through third grade.
Do you think this is a moment where parents have more power?
I do. We do not want children K through 3 to be learning about any type of sex education. There's just no place for it.
She founded a conservative group called Moms for Liberty in Brevard County in 2020.
Why do you think so many parents have joined your group and are so much more active?
Because the establishment has gone too far. We're slowly, over time, stepping on parental rights. They have just completely stomped on them in 2020. And parents were, their eyes were opened.
Legislation just passed that opponents call Don't Say Gay.
I feel like it's a slap in the face to our LGBTQ plus community, especially our kids in schools who want to have a safe space.
In Brevard County, even some teachers are taking sides on issues. Middle school gym teacher Matt Woodside was so disturbed by the district's policy on locker room use, he spoke at a board meeting.
At my school, boys identifying as girls are using the girls' restrooms daily, meaning it happened today.
You're willing to lose your job over this issue?
Yes, ma'am. It's because I cannot stand by and actively put kids in danger.
After months of heated protests in Florida, a feud between the governor and the Walt Disney Company, and a pending federal lawsuit, the Parental Rights in Education bill, referred to by critics as Don't Say Gay, is now in effect. In a legal motion this week, the state arguing what the law does do: limit classroom instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity, and what it does not do, stating there's no merit to accusations the law restricts gay or transgender teachers from putting a family photo on their desk or referring to themselves and their spouse and their own children.
Wait, Kory, take us back to season 2, episode 7, when you were talking your shit.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Side note, financial planning and a guide to great credit, let me just say this while it's on my mind, should most definitely be included in the high school curriculum. But states like Florida are silencing and terminating teachers who happen to be gay because of a family photo that may or may not sit on their desk, and obstructing and violating their First Amendment by strictly enforcing the
Don't Ask, Don't Tell
policy.
Carry on.
Dr. Denise Soufrine, who is gay, has spent 34 years in Broward County schools, most recently with kindergarten and first graders.
I absolutely feel that we are moving backward with regard to civil rights and social justice.
I think it's completely ridiculous. It's 2022. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we taking steps back? I don't get a lot into like politics and lawmaking, but things catch my ear, and it's like, what? Like even Roe versus Wade. It's like, why are we here still?
Right.
Why is this still a discussion? Just let people be, at this point. These kids are having an opportunity to be as free as they want to be really, really early on. And a lot of I don't think I was necessarily in the closet. I just think I didn't know. I knew I had these feelings, but I didn't really understand what they were. There were certain mannerisms and things, of course, that I had, and then I'd be ridiculed by family. So that kept me kind of shielded. And so once I began to meet people and go to college and meet people and then start to see different different types of just people in general, it made me more comfortable overall. You know, I think that if we start accepting people when they're young, they can thrive a lot faster. Because had I had that same support early on, as opposed to the negativity, I would probably be here a lot sooner. But everything's in timing.
And then your response to Roe versus Wade, I think the better question is, I don't think the question should be why are we here? I think the better question is why are we back? Because this should have never returned, like history repeating itself.
Come from? It was like, it literally, like, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know?
Roe v. Wade was a landmark. It effectively legalized abortion across the United States. Here are the facts and players in the case. Jane Roe was actually Norma McCorvey. She was a Texan in her early 20s who wanted to terminate an unwanted pregnancy in 1969. Abortion was legal in Texas at the time, but only for the purpose of saving a woman's life. That was not the issue for McCorvey. Her life was not at risk. She tried unsuccessfully to get an illegal abortion and was referred to 2 attorneys interested in challenging anti-abortion laws. The Wade in Roe v. Wade was Henry Wade, the district attorney of Dallas County, who enforced that Texas abortion law. McCorvey soon filed a case against him. The Supreme Court agreed in 1971 to hear the case, and on January 22nd, 1973, struck down the Texas law in a 7-2 decision. Justice Harry Blackmun wrote for the majority opinion and declared a woman's right to privacy under the 14th Amendment superseded a state's right to ban abortion.
And they think we got an agenda. But fast forwarding to what you just said about being in school, I think that if students had teachers that they felt comfortable with speaking to about their sexuality because their teacher might be, or because their teacher is gay, because they knew that they couldn't speak to their parents about it or someone at home because they would get ridiculed, ostracized, or discriminated against or punished. I think that, you know, if they had like that teacher that had no problem or no qualms about their sexuality, then it might be a little, like it might go a little bit easier for them. It might be a little bit smoother versus I can't say that, bitch, we ain't in Russia.
Здравствуйте.
Like I can't say that I'm gay. I can't talk to anyone in my class. My peers might make fun of me. I don't know who to turn to. I think that's just is one more strike against the LGBT community.
It's like, I don't even know, like you're judging me off feelings that I don't even understand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All of that.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Because when you say you had feelings that you didn't understand, like what was it that you didn't?
This is 2020 hindsight, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I've been doing lately is I've more so been looking at how I got to this point and different things that now with an adult state of mind and experience, what was really going on with me as a kid? Why was I feeling certain ways and why was I attracted to certain things? And back in the day, I was exploring internet porn, stuff like that, but I didn't really know. I knew that I was attracted to guys. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how to pursue that.
Who is having that conversation?
So being an adult now, and also as I get older, 10s, teens, 20s, 30s, almost 40, I have a different mindset on a lot of different things. Like there were things that I may have been exposed to back in the day that I probably didn't fuck with. And now it's like, it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just trying to understand the confusion part. Like, was it that you knew what you were and now it's like, what do I do with it? Or were you confused about like, should I not be having these feelings or is it okay? And am I like a top or like what sexual position or what am I interested in sexually?
Okay.
Like, where does the confusion part come in? I guess I asked because me growing up, like I always knew that
it varies with growth. I always knew, but it's like, what do you do with that?
That conversation.
But I think that it's probably the same. I think it's the same thing with sexuality with anybody. We don't come out knowing to have sex, or and then not even to make sexuality about having sex, but you know, we just kind of form into liking things, right? But I always knew that there was some attraction to males. Like even my male best friend in second grade, I had a crush on him, you know. Right. But looking back, well, how did I know there was a crush?
Did you ever have a girlfriend?
No, but I had crushes on girls. I still have crushes on girls.
Ew, get off of me. As if.
Like sexually interested in girls? Or
No,
just like, oh girl,
bad.
she cute. Yeah.
She's bad. No, but I do have a list of women that I would get pregnant.
Well. Next question. See ya.
Okay, let's hear that list. I'm interested.
Ashanti's on that list.
Ashanti, we the people want to know.
Ashanti's number one on the list. She's the list.
That's the one. That's 1 through 10 is Ashanti.
See, my days are cold without you.
It's only like 3 on the list. Ashanti, Kelly Rowland, and I just recently added the new Portia. The new Portia bad. Okay?
She was always a pretty girl. Like, she was always a beautiful girl.
She was. But she was also real annoying. Don't get me on my housewives talk. Okay, but always been that. She's always been a real charming girl. But I just live for get that money, bitch.
Since we're on the topic of reality shows, what's your favorite one? Because you love reality, right?
Here's the thing. I think I'm at the end of my reality investment.
Thank God.
But I will say one of my favorite ones right now. So I think I'm going more small scale reality TV now. Like Housewives is kind of, all right, we've seen it all. You know, Love and Hip Hop, we've seen it all. And I still plan to be on Love and Hip Hop. My favorite reality show right now is Love and Marriage Huntsville.
I don't watch that.
Yeah, it's on OWN. I'm also manifesting to work for OWN. I'm putting that out there because I love Oprah Winfrey Network right now. Like, I be on there all Sunday.
Really?
Watching everything on there. There's some real good content on OWN.
I used to only watch Iyanla on there because I love Iyanla. But now, for me, it's Put a Ring on It and Family or Fiancé. Family or Fiancé.
Okay, so pause. Hold up. Put a ring on it. Did you watch the last season?
You know I did.
Did you live for Otis and Charlie?
First of all, this is why I thank God that I'm not straight. Because he was so boring to me. Like, he had no personality. It was very monotone, very dial tone, very dull.
Yeah. Why not deliver? Why not give the girls something to say, oh shit, that's how I have to do it. But instead we do Chanel with a peep toe. It's just not interesting. It's not an attractive motif. The cut is strange. And it just feels very do as I say and not as I do. And I think that's the problem here.
I'm like, you cute. That's it. Like, that's all he was giving me was look. And I'm just like, is there anything else?
Can we wrap it up? What the f are you talking about?
Don't say wrap it up.
Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up.
There were a lot of dynamics in their relationship that triggered me. So those two, that couple, those attractive couples, they be having them kind of problems. Like, Otis is really, really petty. He's real passive aggressive. I used to be very much like that. I still can be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So watching kind of go through all that, like everything that they went through on camera, it was real triggering to me. So I kind of fell in love with that couple. But the show overall slays. What couple did you like? Or any of them?
the couple that split in the end, only because I wanted her boyfriend. I didn't like her at all. I thought she was disgusting, actually, as a human being. She was, from obviously not knowing her in real life, but on the show she came across as arrogant and like uppity, and there was a lot of like demeaning behavior on her part to her boyfriend. And I really watched the show just for her boyfriend. I mean, I liked all the couples. It's funny because
season 1 then?
Yeah, I mean, like this season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you watched it before, but
yeah, I watched all seasons. I've seen all seasons.
Yeah.
One of the couples, the girl with the boyfriend who kind of resembled Rick Ross a little bit.
Yeah,
she reminded me of one of my girlfriends in real life.
I can tell. After seeing what happened up at Benny Honda's, I can tell that's one of your homegirls.
She, like, just everything. And I told her, I was like, she reminds me of you so much. I think it was like the things. I liked her too. I don't remember her name, but
I don't remember her name. I liked her.
I thought she really grew on the show. And I don't think it was a storyline. I think it was genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I felt the same thing about him.
Oh, yeah. I agree. What you call it? I forget his name.
Kenneth. That's his name, Kenneth.
Yo, first of all, that girl used to be on the radio in Columbus. I remember her voice. She said it on the show.
Yeah, and because her understudy came, or her assistant came and went on a date with her boyfriend, the girl that used to work for her. Remember?
I don't know. I didn't like their relationship from the jump, so I just was kind of like not even paying attention when they was on screen. I don't really remember much about them, but I do remember the scene where he got drunk in her apartment and started like trying to cuss her out or whatever.
He was doing cartwheels. It was amazing.
She gives me like controlling, like demeaning, like you know what I'm saying? You can't be disrespecting nobody like that just because you make more than somebody. Like what you with them for?
Thou shall not think you got it like that.
And you know what? Like, she said something on that show that I said to one of my exes before. And at the time when I said it, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it because I was being honest.
Was it?
I lowered my standards to be with you.
Said it before.
But it wasn't like a read. It was like more of an awareness thing for me.
Were they insecure? Is that why that came up? Like, it depends. To me, it depends on the moment when you say it. Not saying that it's right, but I think that in moments we say things like, okay, so where did that stem from? Was he being insecure?
No, he wasn't being insecure.
Oh, so you just said it to be a bit.
No, I think to give it some context, I think he was doing something that I did not want him to do. And I wanted him to recognize who I was and see me for who I am and understand that I did what I did because I do love you so much. And one of those things was lowering my standards for you. That was all.
You don't get to tell people how to love you. You get to see how they love and then choose whether or not to participate.
But I mean, when I had conversations with my friends about it, they were like, bitch, you're a bitch. You're a fucking bitch. But you know what? It is what it is.
I will say that the last part of that is true. Let them know my pronouns are that bitch.
Tell me about a time, if ever, when you were interested in someone and there was no reciprocity. Like, were you ever interested in someone, like wanted to date them, wanted to talk to them, be with them, get to know them, and they were like, I'm good?
Not overtly, because I'm not real aggressive like that. But, you know, there's oftentimes when you show interest in people, I think everybody has like a vibe as far as what they look for. And I think it also depends on how I may have approached them. Like, usually if I'm like trying to get in somebody's DMs, they'll look at my page and they'll pay it. I don't know why. They can just kind of, you know, they get this idea that I'm like this party person or whatever, because I'm a DJ and whatnot.
I'm excited tonight, man. I got a special guest in the building with me, man. The icon, Melly B is here. My baby Melly B came to see me. Can we kick it with me tonight, my co-host? He's ready to blow right now. He'll be here in a second. Look, I'm back, episode 5. You know, y'all fuck with me. Y'all doing this thing. Today we got some music bites, and it's a special episode of reality because I got Melly B, who's a reality star. He's from the circle of New York City and Atlanta, a popular web series on YouTube. Make sure you check that out. He's also the CEO of Lemon Brands Marketing, and he's an artist. And he's a real ass nigga. He's a real ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, Melly B's here. We're going to be kicking him. We're going to get to know him today. We're going to know what's on his playlist. We're going to talk about the circle. We're going to talk about Lemon Brands. And we'll just talk about a few things. But I'm going to kick off the episode with Music Bites. So, you guys heard that last song I just played, right? That was that new Khaled record. Khaled, Drake, Lil Baby, Stop Staying Alive. And I like it. I don't love it. But the video is, you know, Drake is on this thing now with these interesting videos. Did you see the video, Melly?
So they'll immediately box me over there. So they don't give me no time of day. But then also there's just some people that you meet and y'all just either they just not attracted to you, and it doesn't have to do, I think attraction doesn't have to necessarily do with cute or ugly. Attraction is an energy, a look, a vibe, or whatever draws you to somebody. So some people are just not drawn to you, just like I'm not drawn to certain people. There are a lot of even celebrities that I think are really handsome or really cute, but I'm not attracted to them. Like I want to sleep with them. I probably wouldn't even date them, you know? But in most cases, I can usually tell when someone's not interested. If I'm usually constantly initiating conversation, you know, I'm constantly trying to make plans and you unavailable and you never try to make plans. And then I just fall back. I kind of just bow out gracefully because I'm about exchanging energy, not just dumping all my energy into trying to date somebody. Like that'll come.
So basically what you're saying is you never get rejected.
I don't allow myself to get rejected. I don't stay around long enough to get rejected. Now.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So okay, so are you unrejectable?
And you, we heard about you before you even got up here. Your looks ain't gonna get you paid, cause you're not that cute. And your hair is uneven. You look dusty.
What you mean? Am I irresistible?
No, I didn't say that. What do you mean that you don't stay around long enough to get rejected?
I don't put myself out there. Like when you say rejected, do you mean like I asked for your number and you said no? Or I said, hey, what's up? And you was like, nah. Like, what is rejection? Because I've gotten to know people and decided I didn't like them no more. And I feel like people have done that about me too. And I think that's just life. So what exactly is rejection?
Rejection is anything that falls under the category of not being accepted.
Like, ew, not my type, not accepted. Like, I don't know.
You are a dumb hoe. Shut up.
Okay, let's dive a little deeper. Say you are dating someone and y'all are in like the beginning stages. You really like him a lot. And over time, as you guys get to know each other, he's just like, I thought this was going to go a different way. I'm good. Let's just kind of be friends.
I had that happen. It's usually because they're not ready. You know what I'm saying? But also, I think that's the reason that I've been given in situations like that where I've been getting to know someone and we were kind of hot and heavy and then it was just like, But you also got to realize that people, you show people how to love and people have to accept whether they can provide that type of love to you. So there are situations that I've been in before where these people, now I'm realizing this, did not necessarily have the capacity to give me back what I needed to feel whole as I was pouring into them. But I did have somebody that I was really, really involved with for a few years up here, actually, and we were off and on, and it was always a rejection of they just weren't ready. They weren't ready to move towards that step with me because of their insecurities around just, I guess, where they were in life, you know, and assuming that there was going to be a certain level of life that I needed from them. And they didn't feel like they could provide that. And even though I would express to them, I really don't need you to do anything for me. You know, I just wanted to be with them. You know what I'm saying? But they just, in their head, was like, no, he's going to need this, want this, do this, and I don't think I can give that to him. And that was rejection for me because I was like, I was really into this person for years.
We know that people who don't like to take personal responsibility like to find other people to blame for their circumstances.
You know what scares me? Something that not really scares, but something that kind of straddles along the idea of maybe why I might be apprehensive to date is because in therapy, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how I navigate in relationships, like romantic relationships. I also learned that there are a lot of people, specifically gays, who walk around with suppressed trauma that they don't even know that they have. And say I meet a guy and like he's never gone to therapy, he's never kind of done the work to maybe kind of clean up his mentality or his behavior or kind of figure out why, you know, he moves the way that he does. But I don't know that. I just met him, we get to know each other, and things start to play out. That's triggering for me. And that would cause part of my personality that's controlling to kick in to maybe maintain the relationship. And automatically, I would go to blaming myself. Like I did something wrong. He's acting out because maybe he doesn't like me anymore. Maybe it's because of something I said, or maybe it's because of the way that I look. But it could really have absolutely nothing to do with me. It could have everything to do with that person and maybe their suppressed trauma. But I like I said, I don't know that because we've never had conversations about therapy outside of me telling him that once upon a time I was in therapy. And there could also be the idea of him thinking that he doesn't need therapy because he thinks that, you know, everything is okay with him. So now I find myself in a place where I'm not really 100% comfortable in this situation because not to put all the blame on him, but I recognize that he has some things that's going on.
And he doesn't understand himself well enough to know where these things are coming from.
But I do really like this person. And
like before, I would default to,
oh, there's something wrong with me. But now, like I understand the alternative.
Well, what can I do to change him or something.
Well,
not change, motivate him or influence him or something like that.
Well, yeah, that was also a part of like the things that I could do.
I've had that.
For me, like now I understand and recognize that the alternative is maybe he's dealing with something that he has no idea about. And that's kind of playing out in our relationship. And to me, knowing that is another reason why I'm like strictly hardcore apprehensive in becoming vulnerable with the person again, because not only of that, but because of trust issues and other things like things of that nature. But I did that's something that I learned about myself, and I don't really know how I'm gonna come back from that.
Well, here's what I'll say. Were you done?
So no, one last thing. I'm not gonna say that, like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm like I would go into a situation looking for something to be wrong, because that's maybe a little bit. If I'm going to be transparent, I probably would. But that was also something that I would do in the past to maybe get people to see their behavior and why it was wrong and how to rectify it so that you could treat me better, so that I could treat us better, so that we could become better.
Yeah.
But I learned that was the wrong way of going about it.
Because they don't have the capacity to take on what you need. And here's what I'll say, because you said a lot of great things of awareness right there. So I hope I don't get lost on my train of thought. But either way, you mentioned that what I heard was discernment. Okay. No, not what I heard was discernment. What I'm gonna say is discernment. Being someone that's also been in therapy for like a full year now consistently, and learning a lot about myself, becoming aware that it's not about me when it comes to anyone else. It's really about them. Now that I know that, I'm able to get back out there and date because I have discernment. Now I can kind of feel you out and see where your head at, see how you thinking, see how you moving to determine if I want to move forward with you. So I think that as of lately, I'm more open to dating now because I now know how to date. I've experienced a lot. I've been in relationships. I've been in faulty relationships. I've ended up in relationships. I even dated someone that suffered from, mental health, that had mental health. I don't want to say issues, but they suffered with their mental health, and they lived in the house with me, and I had to see this every single day, and it really opened my eyes to just what this really, really is.
A new mental health helpline got up and running today across the U.S. If you need help with a mental health crisis, you can call 988. And Oklahoma's call center is already busy. News 9's Angelicia Bruton shares what it means for Oklahomans seeking mental health services. Angelicia?
Folks from anywhere in the U.S. are now able to call or text 988. The Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services says this is several years in the making.
The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is changing its 10-digit number to a 3-digit number.
We're here to help.
So now that I'm out there and I'm meeting people and I'm dating and I'm going on dates and I'm talking to you and I'm seeing where your head at, I can tell what kind of work you need to do. And not that I'm therapizing you, I'm just saying how you fit with me and where I'm at. Because I'm vibrating somewhere else right now. So anybody that's coming over here is going to have to come upstairs. I'm not coming downstairs. So if you don't want to do the work, you want to hold on, you want to be insecure, you want to walk around and be upset, do that over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to really just understand. And I think that we notice things in the beginning. Any relationship with me that ended, I saw that shit first month and I stayed.
Why did you say it? You thought that it was
because it was kind of like, oh, it might get better, or it was just that one time, or they can change the same things that you said you were experiencing. With me, it was just different emotions put there, but it's the same thing. What can I do to get you to love me the way I want you to love me? Because I adore you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now it's kind of like, I saw it first month and I could have left then, but I didn't. So now when I see it first month, we can be that way. I can at least salvage a friendship.
So it was more of the potential that kind of kept you like in the situation. That's fair. Mm-hmm. That's fair. Why do you think that gays aren't really successful with keeping, obtaining, engaging in relationships, romantic relationships?
Unsuccessful. I think that people, it's a lot. I don't want to say it's a lot because it's not a lot of hard stuff. I think it's a lot of perception. I think it's a lot of people's perception of what they feel like a relationship is supposed to be, a perception of what they want out of a person. And a lot of people are dating to become whole. We're looking for a missing piece, no matter how small. It's still a missing piece that people are trying to fill in, but you got to realize like that's not going to come from that person. Also, people are dating maybe based only off attraction. once we done having sex, what you got to talk about? You know what I'm saying?
What you got to talk about before having sex?
Like, what do you have in common once you tired of having sex with that person? Because that's what it's about. Like, we're some people fall into these relationships based off passion, based off sex and whatnot. And then when it comes down to it, you don't have nothing in common, you know? And then you want to put all these expectations on a person. You don't know what they come into the table with. So I think that if people kind of slowed down a bit, really, really took their time to understand what dating means, you know what I'm saying? It's a billion people out here. It's billions of people out here. You're supposed to find one person. You know what I'm saying? That's hard. You got to sift through all these people.
Well, I think proximity matters too, as it relates to what you just said about, you know, a billion people. I mean, because your person could be, you know, on the other side of the country, of the world, wherever. I do think there's a problem. I do think there's an issue or a problem with people who try to force connections between someone that they meet on an app just because they're within 5 miles of their radius. I also think that gays, they tend to judge people and put people in these boxes as like based on, like you said earlier about butch queens. Like some people, they like, and they call it a preference when really it's discrimination. Like, oh, I like butch queen, or I don't like butch queens. I don't like femme guys. I don't like fat guys. I don't like whatever their preference is.
Yeah.
To understand the LGBT community is to understand that we should not be looking for someone to connect with on a romantic level who is capable of fitting into the straight world.
Okay.
So if you're feminine,
it's given from side chick to main. Oh, it's given front desk receptionist. Hello, good morning. Hi, how may I help you? You're looking for Dr. Who? Oh, he hasn't came in yet, baby.
I think if people kind of open their mind and maybe like if their ideas or idealism wasn't so narrow, then they would understand that there are all types of people under the umbrella of LGBTQIA+. And just kind of like ruling people out based on, oh, she's cunt, or she a butch queen, or she do drag, or she Vogue, or like things like that. Right. It's not who you are, that's what you do. You know what I mean? It's kind of a behavior or an activity. And I think that kind of narrows the window of why two gays might not be together or want to be together, because there's so many people who express that they want to be in relationships and they're like, well, I don't know why I can't find nobody. But bitch, you just ruled out 99.9% of the fucking community. You know what I'm saying? Or you too busy trying to turn a straight person gay, a straight boy gay. Or you too busy going after DL. It's like you almost, and obviously to me, in my opinion, I'm not trying to play Dr. Freud, but I feel like, you know, that is a part of or an extension of internalized homophobia. Because if you don't, obviously, if you're looking for something outside of your space, you feel like there's something wrong with the space that you're in. So I think if people just kind of learn to love what we have or each other,
or get a chance to get to know people, or just be realistic. You know, there's a spectrum of what you said, like somebody dealing with a DL person. That's not realistic for me. But I do want to ask you this. How important is attraction to you? Like for me, I have to be attracted to a person because in my idea, like I have to be attracted, like they have to turn me on. And I mean, just not necessarily physical, but there's got to be an attraction there. So if I'm just not attracted to that person, I don't dislike them. I just don't want to sleep with them.
Right. I mean, I understand that.
Even just from a friendship perspective, like as far as just getting to know people and being accepting of like, you know, people's different things. Is that what you mean? Just as far as getting to know people?
No. Wait, are you trying to say that?
I'm all for that. I want to get to know everybody.
No. I'm not talking about I'm talking about like on a romantic level. I mean, obviously there has to be some kind of attraction there. Physical attraction is important, but what I appreciate more, like what's more attractive to me than physical is intelligence. I like smart guys. I agree. Like I like somebody smart guys. I like guys who are just knowledgeable. Like you don't have to have like 10 degrees, but just know how to have a conversation on a level that speaks to something outside of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. No shade to the
Right.
girls who love reality TV.
And it's no shade.
Yeah,
like we like what we like, right? And that's a form of attraction.
It
is. Yeah, it is. It's so I guess a good point to make is that attraction goes beyond the physical. How am I attracted to you? You know what I'm saying? There is something to be said about intellect. You can get me with good conversation before you can get me with your six pack.
Right.
Because so I think that.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I think we're just hopeless. Maybe I should just.
I mean, yeah, because people as a whole, like the human race is just conflicted in how they feel about different things. So, you know, people don't like certain types of people just for whatever reason. And they don't think about in school, people didn't want to sit with certain people because they looked a certain way or felt a certain way that early on. So it's just going to be one of those things where it's like, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be open and accepting of all people. And if I don't fuck with you, it's because I don't like your character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If
Right.
I stop fucking with you, it's because I don't like your character. It ain't going to have nothing to do with anything else other than that. You know?
Yeah. So what's your take on open relationships then? Since the girls can't seem to get it together one-on-one, what's your take on open relationships?
Look, open or polyamorous. I guess it depends on what the rules are.
See, I mean, it's the okay.
Breathe in with me.
That's where it gets complicated. I thought that I could do open.
Really?
But
Have you tried it?
I don't think I tried it. I think just in my head, I was like, I'll be cool with that, but I won't be. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought, you like how you think about it. Like, especially when you're dealing with somebody, start getting on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? Like, but no, I don't think that I could do that. But I will say that ideally, I would love to have two boyfriends live in the house with me.
Bitch, shut up.
Y'all are going to jail.
I think that a lot of people, bitch, so you want slaves.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm talking about like, yeah. No, I don't want to be served. Absolutely. Well. No, but like was it D-Ray Davis that had the two girlfriends, the comedian? One of them comedians had two girlfriends. I feel like it was D-Ray Davis. I don't know why I feel like it was him. It may not have been him. But he had two girlfriends. They were like a full-on throuple. Like they all lived in the house together. They all was working. He was putting them through college, those type of things. Like, I mean, if I could find two dudes that could do that.
So let the games begin.
But then again, I don't know. Because the dudes got to get along. We got to get along. I'm moody. They moody. Niggas be moody. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know.
I feel like three's the crowd. And I also feel like what does it say about you that you feel like you have to share someone with somebody and you can't have them see yourself? Like, is that something that
greedy-ish?
Well, not on your part. Like, obviously, like, say for instance,
because I'm talking about the topic in general. Like, it seems greedy, right? Because I go back and forth. Like, if that's what y'all want to do, cool. I just know for me, I'm still a little controlling. I'm still a little controlling. And, you know, I'm like Dr. Heavenly. I don't want no bitch dancing next to my man. You know what I'm saying? We can go out of town. We can go out of town and we can get it popping out of town. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I go back and forth. Then I don't know if I'm really cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I still kind of like want my nigga to be mine. Like, you my nigga.
Trying to keep them cause I found them. Let a hoe know I ain't motherfucking sharing.
So I don't know. I don't want to say I get it, but I can see why it worked. You know what I'm saying?
Well, denoting the ownership part. Because, like, I know when people be like, oh, that's my nigga. Like, that's my, like, you don't own me. And now people are starting to feel like, whatever. I think a lot more people are in open relationships and don't realize it because of side chick culture, because of side dude culture.
I mean,
I think even if the person is supposed to be like a sneaky link or a secret, it's still open. I mean, but there's the element of cheating and being.
Is it cheating or is it open? Because I done had niggas tell me they allegedly in an open relationship and that was not what it was.
I mean, the way niggas be cheating, it might as well be open.
That's what I'm saying. So
like, why? I guess the question is, why even have the conversation with someone about committing to them knowing that you have no intention of doing so?
Pray to catch you whispering. I pray you catch me listening. I pray to catch you.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you because when I say I sway, it's definitely more so on the monogamy side with me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get it either, but I do also understand that, should I say men are greedy? You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes, and especially, and a lot of the sex stuff don't really have no connection to it. It's just, I'm just fucking just to fuck. You know what I'm saying? Just because I go slide over here and do this, you know what I'm saying, that don't mean I don't love you. That's how they feel. Whereas for me, I want to be so in love with my partner that I don't want to have sex with nobody but you every day if you want to. You know what I'm saying? That's how I want to be, you know? So that's why I go back and forth about it. But I can also understand, because in every relationship, we have low moments when it comes to sex. You want to step out. I done been there before. I done said I was going to the gym and was cheating. I done did that. You know what I'm saying? So, like...
So wait, hold on. You ain't about to... wait, hold on. You ain't about to just skate over there. Hold on.
Y'all always trying to be secretive. And when y'all become secretive, secret shit happen to y'all. Okay.
I wasn't cheating at the gym. I wasn't cheating at the gym, but I was going to the gym and I was really going to go like cheat.
Right, I understood that part, which is why I want to stop you right there. Because what in your mind said, let's go do this? Like, let's go cheat.
Honestly, in that scenario, it was because I was not, we weren't having sex. We literally were not having sex. We was arguing all the time. We weren't having sex. We was living in the same house. But after that, I realized I don't want to do that shit no more. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. I just decided I'm just going to chill out. Like, if I feel like I'm not happy in a relationship, because there was also other things going on. We just weren't happy, period. Then we weren't having sex. When I'm not happy, I'm gonna just leave. Because my single life is lit. You know what I'm saying? I just stay somewhere for 3 days.
Did you have
overnight bag?
David?
Be quiet, but everybody be quiet. That's what is wrong with you. But you're not. Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this.
Did you have any remorse afterwards?
A little bit, but then I found out he was too. But that didn't make a difference. I mean...
Oh, he was cheating as well. Both of you were cheating. Who cheated first?
But I found out, I mean, I kind of suspected it, but I found out like after. You know how you run into people and they're like, oh, you dated so-and-so? Like, yeah, I dated so-and-so. Like, oh, yeah, I know you dated so-and-so. Like, yeah, I dated so-and-so. Girl, they was fucking so-and-so. Oh, okay, cool. It is what it is. You live and you learn. I won't be in that position no more.
So you would never cheat again?
No, not if I decide to commit. Definitely not. And especially not if I get married. Definitely not cheating.
Oh, so wait, so you would get married?
I would. It's not on my bucket list, but like if I fall in love,
okay. A bucket list?
Yeah, like, you know how people like really, really like want, oh my God, I want to get married.
Yeah,
I would love to. I would love to have a sickening wedding. My wedding already planned.
Investigate. I know you said you don't really like get heavy into politics, but bitch, if you're gonna get married, you might want to do it now, because there's
literally nobody in the pipeline that I want to like do that with and give up my fabulous single life. So it is what it is for me personally.
I'm just saying, like, if you want to just go ahead and just draft the marriage license, the marriage certificate, because right after Roe versus Wade, it's the game.
They're talking about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, tell me more about that, because I know you're definitely into that, and I'm finna do a plug right here. One of the reasons I really, really love your podcast is because I like a good mix of news. This is in general, because the way this would have come out was wrong. I like a good mix in my life of news, gossip, trash TV, documentary style shit. I want to learn some shit at times. Like, I have a mixed pot of stuff. And so I know that with you going to give me a lesson. You going to let me know what the fuck going on, because I need the Cliff Notes. I can't read the whole thing. But tell me, I did see where like something was passed to protect them from making changes to that, right? Is that what I remember correctly? Or like, what's up? Tell me about that.
I haven't really done a lot of research with that. I do think it's now up to state legislation, kind of like with Florida.
Because I saw it this week, I think.
Well, I know like a lot of stuff is going on in Florida with that whole homosexuality, but kind of like abortion kind of like Roe versus Wade. I think that people are thinking that when it came from the Supreme Court, that means that it was deemed for the whole country. Like no one can have abortions anymore, but that's not the case. It's
state protected too, right?
It's based on state legislation. Mm-hmm. So while you might have a lot of states in the Midwest that might not be performing abortions anymore, California is. So maybe, people might travel to California. Very conservative, very right-wing, very Confederate You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that that's on the table next. Gay marriage, gay rights, like they're revoking those. That shit is already in the works.
This is your Gated Community News Report, sponsored by President Barack Obama.
And no such right is implicitly protected by any constitutional provision, including the one on which the defenders of Roe and Casey now chiefly rely, Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. Justice Alito saying it's not in the original text, therefore it does not exist. That has implications not just for abortion rights.
Any number of rights. And the dissent from Justice Thomas makes very clear that there is a voice on the Supreme Court that is willing to go after or at least address the questions of same-sex marriage or contraception or whatever. And it's the same general legal framework that would strike them down. So that's, point one. Point two is that right now, Justices Kavanaugh and Roberts in their concurrence made clear that maybe, we're not going to go all the way there yet. Well, that means that we're one justice away if one of them were to leave the court or change their mind or whatever else from those questions coming up.
Well, it turns out that same Supreme Court ruling that struck down Roe v. Wade, it also opened the door to future rulings that could overturn other rights, right? Things like the right to gay marriage, interracial marriage, and contraception, all of which are based on the right to privacy, just like Roe v. Wade. Which is why now Democrats are trying to learn their lesson and protect those rights before Clarence Thomas gets to them.
A historic moment on LGBTQ rights.
The bill is passed.
Nearly 50 House Republicans joined all Democrats to write same-sex and interracial marriage into federal law. The vote comes amid growing concerns that a conservative Supreme Court could nullify marriage equality.
This week, a federal judge in Texas declared it unconstitutional for the Affordable Care Act to require coverage for certain HIV prevention drugs. U.S. District Court Judge Reed O'Connor ruled that the ACA mandate for free coverage of HIV drugs like Truvada and Descovy, commonly known as PrEP, violated the religious beliefs of a Christian-owned company.
Yeah. But I think after the gays, and I might be reaching, but it might be interracial marriages and relationships. You know what I mean? People might start showing up in people's yards with crosses burning just because, the wife is black and the husband's white. Who knows what they plan to do with the legalities. Also, I think the Constitution, although we have amendments, like that shit is like 1 billion years old. And it's not conducive with
what's going on right now.
Right.
Don't even get me started on this book I'm reading that talks about the progression and regression of life in the universe and all that stuff like that. And it's like we going backwards. And I literally just read this the other day. So, that's what I want to know. What's up in the UK? What the UK doing? Because I'm just going to go there.
Bitch, it's hot over there. They burning. That like global warming. Like I think 400 people just died in France earlier this week from forest fires. Like because it's so hot over there.
Yeah.
And then poor England. The homes in England are engineered around precipitation. So the majority of the homes in the UK are built without air conditioning because it's usually cooler there, right? I think the highest temperature prior to 2022 is in the high 60s. Then too, it's always raining and promising chances of an overcast.
I'd so love to live there.
Anyway, because of this, the flats and houses are generally only equipped with a heating system, and they're designed to conserve heat by trapping it inside so that there's no need for heat systems since they pretty much see cooler and colder climates year-round. So for the better part of the summer, while the temperature rose to the 100s, civilians were in their homes literally having heat strokes. Good old global warming. And it's no better in Germany. Germany has no solar or wind farms to fill the void of the energy demand. The main artery of the gas pipeline flows through the Baltic Sea, from Russia all the way to Germany. What's more, Russia controls the switches to the gas taps, to which several surrounding countries are 100% dependent. Yes, Russia is the only gas source. The Czech Republic, 100%. Hungary, 94%. Slovakia and Bulgaria, 85% and 82.2%. And Russia had the nerve to cut Germany's power supply by 25%. Political move? Maybe. Although Vladimir will probably tell you that this chess move was in support of the energy crisis. What's more, in order to avoid a blackout or to prevent a massive power grid failure, the European governments are controlling the electricity intake of their citizens by controlling their use of power. Yet another example of how Russia is a geographical bully. And you might say, like, what the fuck does all of this have to do with us in the United States? I like to think that the best predictor of what's to happen over here starts in the East first. Y'all remember where COVID started? Asia ain't that far from Europe.
This is your Gayted Community News Report, sponsored by President Barack Obama.
Okay, so I want you to rank these in order from most important to least important.
Ooh, how many is it?
5.
Okay, good. All right, I was trying to see if I needed pen and paper.
Money, power, respect, love, peace.
Peace is number 1. Love is number 2. What was it? Power and respect. Mm-hmm. Respect is number 3. Power is number 4. Money is number 5.
Money's last?
Money's last. It's a whole new. It's a whole new Dayman, my nigga. This is a whole new Dayman.
Why? Like, why is money last though?
Because money is just a tool that we use to get all the things that are above that. So when you stop coveting money so much, the money gonna come. I'd rather be at peace, be loved, have people respect me, and have a little power. Because if I have all that, I'm gonna get the money. But even if I don't, I can use all that to get to the money. You know what I'm saying? Money is just a tool. It's the tool that we use to be comfortable. Just like me buying my desk.
You and this damn desk.
I love my desk. The answer would probably have been different years ago, but I just have a new perspective on just like what's important right now, you know. And yeah, getting money is cool. I need that. I like rich nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't, you know, it come and it go.
You want how respect, you need life.
Money has never really moved me. I was never interested with somebody because I know that's like a lot of topic of conversations these days, you know, when it comes to like dating and getting to know someone, even like on a friendship level. Like, I don't want to be friends with somebody who works at Bojangles. You know what I mean? Right. Because they are in a certain tax bracket. But like, I've never been, money it's important, but I don't really care about money.
I agree. I've never not chosen to date somebody because of financial situation. However, I just don't want you asking me for nothing because I'm not going to ask you for nothing.
I get that.
Especially in the dating stage. Now, when we together, I mean, I give you my whole paycheck. But, you know, in the early dating stage, I need to see how you handle money. And I used to make that mistake before and not see how you handle money and then just be fucked up. Like, you really just don't know how to manage money. So as long as you're financially sound, I don't really care what you bring into the table because I'm not really going to ask you for nothing, especially early on.
Like, I'm not going to ask how much you make because I don't care.
Either.
I'm not going to ask how much you pay for rent because I don't care. Like, that's none of my business. I'm not going to ask how much you paid for. I just don't ask people about money. As long as honestly, I think knowing how to enhance and stabilize your credit is more important than the cash flow.
Yep.
So, but if I had to rank those 5, it would be peace, respect, love, power, and money. Or maybe money, then power. No, bitch, I like to be powerful. Power.
You do like to be in charge of the girls.
Power, then money. Yeah, that's how I would rank it. I mean, because there's nothing like a peace of mind. Like, it's just the stories I could tell.
Your mind should be at peace.
And it's like, you can't turn it off. It's not like a light switch. You can't. It just keeps going. And
no, I can talk to you for another 45 minutes about that.
Well, as much as I would like that, on that note, I'm going to ask you to plug yourself, you know, tell the people where they can find you, your social media handles, your website. I know you have a radio show.
Yes.
That you DJ. Wait, so explain that a little bit before we end. Is it like a, it's not like a XM radio, or is it like a app? Oh, it's an app.
It's an app. It's called Reflex Radio. It's a brand new radio station that this guy, Joe Parker or John Parker. Ooh, let me verify the name. But Mr. Parker, he is creating an app. He's from New York. And so he created a radio station app where it has 24 hours of music. It also has podcasts. They have DJs from time to time. So it's a platform that's building. And so I honestly saw an ad on Instagram saying they were looking for DJs. And I just was like, I was laying in my bed and I hit him up and I was like, what's up? Pretty much. You know, I had already been thinking about launching the Lynx live show and just kind of need that push to kind of just put it out there. And when he met with me, he had me audition and he talked to me on the platform, I was like, I might as well just use this. So now I'm on Reflex Radio. It's an app, Lynx Live. I'm your host, DJ Dame Lynx, DameLynx. DJ Dame Lynx, DameLynx, which stands for Love Yourself, No Exceptions.
Oh, that's what that
means?
means? I never knew that.
Yeah. So if you also Google what a lynx is, it's a very sickening, exotic cat.
A little kitty cat. You like my little kitty cat? Purr. You like a little kitty cat? Meow. A little kitty cat.
Also, not like a sneaky link.
No. I don't like those sneaky links. I need it when I need it.
So are you giving like what's your favorite genre to spin? Is it like, are you giving like David Guetta or Paris Hilton?
Well, it depends when it comes to the radio show or just in general.
The radio show.
On the radio show, I'm really focusing. Well, of course, I like a mixed bag. I like all genres. Miscellaneous genres, I guess. Various genres. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. But anyway, I love pop. I love trap. I love 90s. I love hip hop. I love everything pretty much. But I want a mixture. But I really want to focus on new releases and what's hot and what's out right now. A lot of my friends or everybody, all people that love me, they love my musical knowledge. You know, my knowledge of music. I always know what's coming out. I know what's hot. I listen to it probably before anybody else. I kind of sit it to the side, decide how to work it. And so I want to spotlight entertainment news, a little bit of gossip, a little reality, but more so the focus is new music. I even have my first segment, which is called Music Bites. I open up every show with that, where I go over previous new releases and music news. So I'll be mixing it up. Like this episode, I highlighted Fuck Nigga Free.
I'm F-R-E-E, fuck nigga free.
But I also went into Lizzo's album and did a whole segment on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a mixed bag as far as what I'm feeling right now, what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have different guests on there. I have my homegirl on there for the second episode tonight. We did a really great interview there. So yeah, every Thursday night at 8 p.m. on Reflex Radio, it'll just be me with some hot DJ mixes. You'll be able to see what's out, what's hot, hear what's popping, hear me spin, hear me talk. I'll be talking about reality TV, music news, pop culture, just whatever, you know, the things I like, all the shit I like.
Oh, so you have guests on there?
Yeah, just my friends. You know, my friends are dope, including you. I just had the second episode tonight, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully the platform builds, we'll see where it goes, but it's also giving me the inspiration I need to really just push it to the next level. So I'm loving it so far though, it's fun.
That's what's up. Tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Sure. You can find me on all social media at Dame Lynx, DameLynx, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Instagram is your King of Hearts, because I am the King of Hearts. And then also I'm on SoundCloud. Let me plug my SoundCloud, because I have a new mixtape that I just dropped on SoundCloud called The Lynx Tape. With a lot of edits and with a few edits and mashups that I did on SoundCloud. You can also search that at Dame Lynx. And if you look me up on Instagram, everything is in the link in my bio too.
Okay, and I'll put all that in the description of this episode. So everyone,
check you out. You so
Official girl.
Just so everybody know where to go to find you in case they forget while listening to this episode. It'll be there, plugged, stamped. So I really had a really good time.
I did too
tonight, and I really want to sincerely thank you for being here and talking with us. And it was a good conversation.
Yes, it was my pleasure. I couldn't wait to be on here. I've been so excited about it. Congratulations on even getting season 2. I know you I know what it's like as a creative, just trying to stay motivated to keep putting this product out there. And a lot of people like to equate things to needing to be profitable. Or, now that I'm moving into that space, I feel you. I want to create my shit to be like I want it to be. So I'm glad that you're doing that. I listen every fucking week, because I typically have a podcast day on Wednesdays where I listen to all my podcasts, but there are certain ones where as soon as it drops, whenever it drops, I try and listen to it within a day or so. Yours is one of them. So I'm just proud of you. Season 2, you going up, it's true to you. It's definitely you, me knowing you.
You are Beyonce. And
I just think it's a big thing, because as creatives, I think people kind of take being a creative for granted, because that shit ain't easy, man.
It's not. I appreciate you saying all of that and all the kind words. No, I wasn't looking for profit for my podcast. I mean, that would be nice, but I was just talking to a friend of mine, and he was encouraging me to come up with a merch line. And I know a lot of creatives, YouTubers, social media influencers, they have particular merch that they sell, but I feel it's more so along the lines of them just slapping a logo on a coffee mug or a t-shirt or a hoodie already, and I want to put thought into my, like, I don't want no cheap shit going out there. So,
exactly.
like, because it's going to represent me, obviously. And if I'm going to put my name on something, then it's going to be tea. It ain't gonna be no bullshit. So yeah, that's in that medium. That is the only right now is the only thing that I'm gonna do to make a little bit of profit, just to kind of keep the seasons going and do some more things behind the scenes. So yeah, it is not easy being a creative and working a full-time job, like where I'm on a hybrid schedule, when I have to go into the, like it's not easy, but it's mine and I love it, and
it's yours, you own it. It's so true to you, and like me just knowing you, it's everything for me. So
I appreciate that. I really appreciate it.
I fuck with it.
All right, Dayman. So we're going to get out of here and we will see you next time.
Bye.
It's called a gated community.
I'm in a gated community. All the gays are live.
You live in a gated community.
The girls act like you can't get in a gated community, girl. I've been in so many gated communities.
If you don't live there and you talking about you pulling up to a bitch house, that's trespassing. Especially when it's a gated community.
African people are not pro-homosexual.
Who is having that conversation?